Welcome everyone. Today we have with us Dr. Dhiman Bhattacharya. He's very popular on Twitter. He's a doctor. He passed his MBA from NRS Medical College and started his investing journey in 2003. He has investing experience of around 18 years. Welcome here, sir.
Namaskar, everyone. Thank you, Jai, very much for your kind introduction. The whole world knows I am a financially illiterate person. I don't deserve this much, but whatever. So before starting, can I ask you something?
Yes, sir.
At this very tender age, what has driven you to the difficult science of investing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I started reading about stock market in around 2020, 2019 and 2020. And then when I started reading, I got interested in this stock market. And then in 2020-21, I started investing in the same.
Okay. And guys, I am in this particular shoot because, Joy, please proceed. Why I am in this particular dress.
Yeah. So he's a very busy person. He joined us from his hospital. It's very great of him that he joined this show. Thanks for that, sir.
Okay, so can I proceed?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So today everything will be on a very basic level.
Yes.
Because in the last 2 to 3 years, many investors have joined the party. There are many more seasoned investors. I am not going into details and all those cumbersome procedures. I will try to keep the things as simple as much as possible. Okay. So today, what I have felt in my long journey in stock market, risk mitigation is very important.
Got it.
Equity is a very risky class, and there are multiple sectors, multiple companies. Everything amalgamation is a very risky factor. So I would like to discuss on the part of risk mitigation.
Got it.
So I am pretty new in Twitter family. This is just my 8th month going on. But during multiple discussions, multiple questionnaires, what I have realized people want to know, number one is that exit policy from a stock. Number two is how to get the competitive advantage part. Number three is management analysis. So I created a poll a few days ago. So which one I should discuss? And all of the above got maximum vote. So I have decided I will discuss all these 3 things. Are you okay with that?
Absolutely, sir.
Okay. So let us start with the exit policy. Now, this is the difficult thing, exit policy. Before investing, you should, what I do is that I first go with the sectors, then I go with the individual companies. So you have to deep dive into the companies.
Got it.
First of all, when you're investing, you're not investing into a stock, you are going to be a part of a company. You have to realize that part. And while investing, the terminal value, what should be the terminal value? That is very important. When you will go out of that stock, there is nothing called holding forever. I don't feel so. So another thing is what I have realized that people do 2 mistakes. One is they blindly invest on tips. Suppose you have bought a stock 2 months ago at rupees 500. Now today the stock is gone to 250. So you are getting at 50% discount. I am talking of price only.
Correct.
But you don't know anything about company. Certain A or B on Twitter or whatever, or YouTube or Instagram, wherever he has got some tips. And you are adding, the stock is going deep, buy on dips. Strategy. And you are also already in a trap. Now you have to realize first, when you are entering into a stock, at that very moment, you should be very much clear when you will exit out from that particular stock. And another thing is, suppose I am taking some names here, nothing is a recommendation.
Yeah, correct.
Neither Joe or me, we are not SEBI registered.
Yeah. Everything in this video should not be constructed as an investment advice. We both have not SEBI
all for educational purposes.
Education purposes only.
So in 1999, suppose someone has invested into Pidilite. Pidilite was around 2 rupees.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pidilite was something around 10 rupees. That person has got 5 bagger. So what you will do? As a newbie, you will say, okay, I've got 5 baggers, so I'll be exiting. Now today, the stock is somewhere around, I exactly can't remember, 2,700 or 2,800. So you remember one thing, that if the story is intact, upon story you have invested, if the story is intact, you should go along the story. You should step up, not step down.
Correct. You should average up.
Definitely, that is a very good thing. Average up. Averaging down is a very risky thing. That is for the seasoned investors only, I think, who knows the company well, who knows management well, who knows everything well. Only for that. That is applicable. And I would like to give some examples here also, like valuation wise. Valuation is a very difficult thing. I haven't realized what valuation really is. What I feel is that valuation is not in the book or somewhere else written. Valuation is in your mind. The DCF status is in your mind.
Correct.
So
the more you understand the business, the more you value it.
Right. More you realize that I don't know anything.
Correct.
So I am citing two examples again, nothing recommendation once again. I am a investor in Tata LC. So I am invested from 3 digits. And in the past few months, Tata LC has gone down about around 20% or something. But I have not invested into it because according to me, it is overvalued. I am not exited so far because I'll see Q3, Q4 results, and it has got a very big spectrum. That's why I haven't invested, number one. Number two is there is a stock in which I was invested for long. The stock is very famous, very renowned group, that is HDFC Limited. But past few quarters, the results were not good. The stock was not performing well. And I have got a new opportunity rather. That is Saregama. Again, not a recommendation.
Yeah.
So I invested at 800. But the interesting thing is the spectrum is so big, Saregama. According to me, according to my valuation, this Saregama should go on for decades. At least for 2 to 3 decades, what I feel. So I have invested at 4,000. I have invested in 4,400 also. It is pretty overvalued. It is pretty overvalued, no doubt about it. But what I feel in long term, this overvaluation will come as considered as down valuation. I mean, undervaluation. So so these two things come from here. One is valuation and number is opportunity. If you get another opportunity, you should exit. And and the most important thing is the management and the story behind. So these are the exit policies should be. And another aspect of this is I have seen many people who invest like for son study, like for daughter's marriage. Now suppose for a particular class or particular marriage, if 3 lakh is required, and you have got a target of 10 years, and you have got that money in a bull market by 5 years, you should exit by then. You should take the risk. If you got a target of price or money, something like that, that I will exit after 10 bagger. You don't know anything. You have got a tips and you are getting in a bull run money. So you should exit at first. Because no one knows when one event can take place and bear market will start. No one can tell. Only God can tell it. No one can tell. If anyone tells that I can time market, is a liar and nothing else. So this much I would tell about the exit policy. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, so sir, to just sum up your point that you just said, that if your target is hit, don't be greedy and add more. Just exit at that time only.
That is for the target oriented people.
Correct.
Who doesn't know all those things, difficult things.
Correct.
And if you are an investor, then you should go like what I have told you in 1999 Pidilite story. You can brief it now.
Yeah.
Please brief it.
Yeah. So what sir said in the Pidilite story is that it was valued at it was at stock price at 2 rupees in 1999, right. And now it is at around 2,000 rupees. So it has been a
1,000 rupees.
Yeah.
3,000.
Yeah. So it's almost a 1,500 rupee bagger from that point. Like, so for example, if a person didn't know anything about it and got in tips, he got somewhere tips that buy Pidilite, he bought at it, and then he said if it reached at 10, he got 5 bagger and he exited it because he didn't understand the business of it. But the one who understood the business of it stayed invested, averaged up, and now they have got around 1,000 bagger, which is very rare to find.
Very rare, yes, very rare. In any country, it is very rare.
Yeah.
So next, I should proceed to competitive advantage. So what is competitive advantage?
So competitive So competitive advantage is often referred as moat, means what differentiate this company from the rest companies. Like for example, if there is a shop and there around it there are 10 shops, what differentiates that shop from the other 10 shops and what protects it from the other 10 shops is moat in my definition. And
Right.
what helps it flourish. Like for example, if other stores are making rupees 10 as a revenue each day and this store is making 100 rupees, what's the competitive advantage that it is that this store is making 10x of that of other store. This is
Right.
what moat is in my definition.
Absolutely, you are right. So competitive advantage is the advantage that your company has got that
Correct.
others don't have. In a
Correct.
simple language.
Simple.
So I am going into very basics, not in any difficulties. So I will start different types of moats, or we all know that competitive advantage is also known as moat. That
Moat.
was given by the great Benjamin Graham, the intelligent investor. So first of all, the kind is, now suppose you are hungry. You will go to a kirana shop and you tell कि एक मैगी दो. तुम ये नहीं बोलोगे कि नूडल्स दो.
नूडल्स दो.
मैगी तो कोई नूडल्स तो है नहीं, तुम जाके बोलोगे कि मैगी दो. अब तुम्हारे दिमाग में ये बैठ गया है कि मैगी तो नेस्ले का प्रोडक्ट है ना. ये इसको कहते हैं ब्रांड मोड. मानो कि इंडिया में I have almost gone everywhere in India. Most people drink Nescafe. They don't drink coffee. They drink Nescafe. एक Nescafe दे दो भाई.
Correct.
So I have seen my patients go for baby food and they go and directly tell that give me a Cerelac. Cerelac is
baby food.
Of Nestle.
Correct.
So this is a unique mode of Nestle. That's why Nestle is sustainable. Longevity is a very important thing in stock market. If you are a long-term investor, if you are a trader, I am not going to discuss about that. If you are a long-term investor, this is very important, the longevity. So another thing I will like to discuss here, suppose you take care of your hair very much. You will go to a kirana shop, and once again you will tell, ye bhai ek parachute de do.
Parachute de do.
Neha Naturals de do. Ek Set-O-It gel de do. Ek Live-On gel de do.
Correct.
You don't know all these products are manufactured by Marico.
Correct.
But you want to go there and tell me, bhai ek nariyal te do na, aisa nahi bologe tum, hai na? This is a unique mode. This is the brand mode.
Correct.
This is inherent. You won't change. You won't change.
Correct.
You won't change. Like you have probably know the incidents about Maggie. What happened with that particular incident? Even after that, Maggie is being sold.
Correct.
Okay.
Even after getting banned at some particular year, it still continues to grow its revenue. Maggie.
For 2 years, it was a loss-making company, but after that, everything came back.
Correct.
So this is a brand mode. This is a unique mode. Unique competitive advantage. You can't break it. And another thing is economic scale mode. Economic scale mode is a difficult thing. This is specifically seen in the cyclical sectors, specifically in metal sectors. Like in India, again, no recommendations. All the companies are just for educational purposes. We are discussing here. So Hindustan Copper, there is a copper company in India. They have got their own mines. Now Hindustan and Vedanto, who works in particular spheres, in this particular sector, they don't have mines. Now this is a unique mode. You have got your own mines. You can reduce your own price and you can sell it at higher price. So you are a price maker here. Absolutely unique mode. So this is the economic scale mode. It's specifically seen in metal sector. Now next mode is, I am making it short and easy for spectators.
Your language is also so easy to understand, right?
I am financially illiterate, you know.
So you are very humble.
Thank you. So another is deep pocket mode. Deep pocket mode means these companies these are cash cow companies like ITC, like Hindustan Unilever. This company has so much money. TCS, Infosys, HCL Tech, Wipro. These are got unique mode that they have got so much cash reserves. If the company gets shut for 2 years, it doesn't matter to them. This is a unique mode. Your money, your capital is completely protected in these companies. For long-term investor where longevity is a factor, this is also important to keep this kind of companies. A few days ago, Ishmohit was tweeting about HUL and I asked him, why not Tata Consumer and Nestle? And we are chit-chatting like this. So all these companies, all these kind of companies, Dabur and all this, Colgate probably has lost this particular moat. Not, I don't feel Colgate has got any competitive advantage at this very moment. But all these companies are very much into this competitive advantage game. Next, I will tell you about another mode, that is market share mode. Market share mode, very important mode. We all go for market leader companies, isn't it?
Correct.
Am I right?
Correct. Yeah, correct.
So if you go to USA, you will see
Correct.
the cola culture there. And in the cola culture, Coca-Cola is a company which has got almost 46% of market share. Unbelievable, incredible.
Correct.
Over the years, it's passing on. Coca-Cola. If you come to India, you will get anywhere in India, you will get Fevicol, Fevisticks, glue sticks, Dr. Fix-It, so on and so forth. 60% to 80%. They have got international competitors, and all the competitors have been died by them. They bought all the companies. In India, Astral is only their competitor, what I feel, but not up to the mark, because they have got 60 to 80% market share, Pidilite. Now, if we go to our neighboring country, Bangladesh, there is a phone called Grameen Phone. Grameen Phone has 47% market share. If 100 phones are sold, 47 phones are sold from a single company. Can you believe it? Maruti is losing its market share due to this electric vehicle theme, and Tata Motors is doing very well.
Correct.
But market share is a very important thing. Whatever might be, my market share is a very important thing. And another mode I would like to discuss here is
before adding it, I will also add one more example for market share mode. The another example for market share mode is Boat. Boat is a company that makes headphones and your wearables. This is also a headphone of Boat. This is not sponsored. This is just example that I'm giving, that Boat has around more than 50% market share in wearables in India. So that is also another example of market share mode. That if
absolutely right.
Correct. If any particular company has a percentage, a particular percentage of market share, people will use more of that company only.
Yes, right. So the next mode I'd like to discuss is patent mode. What is patent beta? Do you know it? Patent.
Yeah. Patent is, for example, if this is a mouse, if I make the technology of making this mouse and patent it, so that another companies can't copy it.
Right. Your competitors.
Correct. Your competitors.
For a certain period.
Correct.
For a certain period. Especially 17 to 20 years.
Correct. For example, if you see all the Apple phones, they have certain Apple phones have certain curve over their edges. So this is the technology that was patented by Apple. Hence, no other competitor couldn't copy it and can't do it also.
Absolutely.
This is also a unique type of mode, patent mode.
Unique type of mode, because you see, in all those APIs companies, all those and CDMO companies,
pharma and chemical companies.
All are patented companies. All those chemical companies, all are patented companies. But there is only one risk in patent. If you are investing just seeing the patent, you remember after 17 to 20 years, if you are a long-term investor, you are just a kid now. When you will reach our age, by that time that patent will end. And all these products will come as generics. All these products, all the CDMO and all these things which are patented at this moment, that will come as generic. So before this patent goes out, you have to exit from that particular company. This is another mode. So I have just mota, these are the types of modes, and you can brief now.
Yeah. So sir basically talked about many types of mode. I will just basically brief it. So one sir talked about recently market share mode. Market share mode basically means that if a particular company has more percent of market share, people will use more type of their product only. Then the second was your brand mode. Brand mode means, for example, if I have to buy noodles, I don't say go to the vendor and say give me some noodles. I will say give me Maggie. So this is a unique type of mode. This is, I think, the most popular mode, most powerful mode also, because this was also seen in the example.
Mental model, I think.
This is also mental model also, because even if Maggie was banned for around 1 to 2 years, still its sale up still picking up due to this brand mode. So this shows a lot about this mode also. Then sir talked about the economies of scale mode and gave example of a steel company. Then he talked about the
copper company.
copper company. Yeah, correct. And then touched upon the patent mode. Patent mode basically means that you're patenting a particular technology or a drug or a API or chemical for a particular period of time, which can be around 10 to 15 years, depending on the filing. Right, sir?
And cash cow mode.
Cash cow mode also. The cash cow mode example that Sir gave was ITC, Wipro, then your not ITC, but all your IT companies like your TCS, Wipro, etc., etc. This is all brief, sir.
So this sums up the competitive advantage part.
Correct.
Now I would like to discuss about management. The most important thing in investing,
Correct.
whatever might be, you might be with huge tailwind, your sector, your all the companies might go run up. But if your management is back, it's like a bad driver in a Rolls Royce. Accident is inevitable,
Correct.
Accidents happen. So it's a very difficult thing how to know the management, because human mind is the most complex thing. You can't enter into anyone's mind. What is the
Correct.
back of the mind of that particular person or particular promoter or group of promoters? You don't know. They might
Correct.
pretend to be good. They might pretend to be good. So I see multiple points in the balance sheet, in the companies, all these things. But I am going very basic, saying 1 second. Some points will be difficult, but mostly very basic for the beginners. Okay. So first of all, what I feel, the company promoters should be honest. That is the first and foremost thing. So if you are going to invest in a company, if you don't know about that particular company, it's better to go to Google nowadays. Go to Google and search for fraud, legal case, something like that with the name of the company. If you don't find anything, then you search for the promoters. With every promoters, you search by the name of promoters, whether any fraud or any legal case pending or something like that. This is number one. Number two is, suppose you have got two companies, company A and company B. Company A is listed in stock market. Company B is not listed. This company B is a fraudulent company. And I am going to invest into company A. This is a red sign, red flag, I would say. Okay. So when company B, that is unlisted, is a fraud company and it has been under legal vigilance or all these things, you should invest in company A. That is a red flag. What I feel. Another is sometimes what happens, this A and B company. A company is listed into market and B is not listed. Now promoters taking out this money from A company and they launder this money into the company B illegally. This is very dangerous. You won't realize when the stock will crash. And another thing is money laundering also occurs with relatives, with close circuits, with friends, all these things. These things have to be kept in mind always. Always you try to be vigilant investor. You always should read between the lines. That is very important.
Correct.
I'm coming point by point. Next is salary of the management. Salary of the management is very important.
That is often referred in the annual reports as remunerations. Salary as remunerations.
Whatever might be.
Correct. Because people get confused often.
Confused, yes.
Correct.
Remuneration and salary is the same thing.
Correct, same thing.
Same thing. So the remunerations you are talking about, I know many companies over the years, those are loss-making companies, but the promoters have gone mota taka ekdam. Samjhe ho? So you have to be very much vigilant about that thing. What is the salary? I don't want to name a company that is a Nifty 50 company till date, which is a very big company. I don't want to name. The promoters are taking very high amount of salary in that particular company, but still the stock is doing good for last 20 years. That might be an exception. That might be an exception. That is not commonly said. So another thing is, suppose you are invested in company A and company A's share price is rupees 100. Now, if you are a promoter of that particular company, you have got that right that you can release some preferential shares. What is preferential shares? Preferential shares are your share price is rupees 100 and you can release the share at rupees 80 or 60 and you can do buyback by yourself.
Got it.
There's low price preferential shares. You have to watch this thing very much. This is like insider trading. Low priced preferential shares, whether they are buybacking that particular thing. This is another point. Next point, I am going to tell you the insider trading. What is insider trading? Now, suppose your company is doing well and you are You are the promoter, you know everything about your company. So if something is going to do very good, exceptionally well, then you have to note it, and you have to acknowledge the, here in India, we will tell it as SEBI, the organization, your regulator. But when you are failing to do it, some companies what do, their friends and relatives, they buy shares when they feel it. The promoters feel it and they ask them, just kharid le isko. So this is called insider trading. Most of the cases you won't get the notice because no one will tell you. As soon as you will get something fishy, you should get out of the company. This is a very, very, very risky thing, what I feel. And I have seen over the years that many reputed auditors, many reputed management personnel, they have resigned without any cause. And after 6 months or 6 years, that has been found as the company had been doing some fraudulent thing. So this resignation without any cause, that is also a very risky thing. What I feel, I always remain skeptical about this kind of things happening. In between pesticide company, that thing occurred, and ultimately the stock is still not performing well for last 1.5 years, what I have seen so far. So another thing is promoter holding. Is it important?
Yeah, absolutely.
Promoter holding is very important.
Yes, sir.
What I feel.
Because if the promoter itself isn't feeling confidence to invest in his own business, then what's
Right,
point of you investing in the business?
Yes. Yes, right. You know your business and you are not confident about, you are not confident feeling about your own business. So how can I invest into your business?
Correct.
So if promoters are selling stakes continuously, now not a recommendation, Newgen Software 2 or 3 quarters ago, I can't remember correctly, they sold their stakes 10%. And the shares were bought by some great FIIs. FIIs.
FIIs means foreign institutional investors, for context. So those who don't know what FII means. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, thank you. So many people ask me in last 6 months why Newgen shares holding has been down. So if some foreign institutional investor or domestic, maybe domestic institutional investors also, if they are very good, then it is a different story. But if the company management or promoters are selling their stake continuously, that is not a good sign. Another thing I want to mention here is pledging of shares. Pledging of shares is also a very risky sign. I generally support that. I invested in Laura's Lab, not a recommendation. When it was highly pledged. Now the pledge has been released, but pledging is also a very dangerous thing, what I feel. And now I am going into a deeper space regarding management. So when you are going to invest in a company, if you are investing into an IPO, red herring prospectus is the thing you must have to read.
Correct.
Whatever may be company, maybe it's a Tata company, maybe a Birla company, maybe a Reliance company, you must read the red herring prospectus.
Correct.
Now, suppose you are going to invest in HCL Tech. So where will you get red herring prospectus? Again, you have to go to Google. You have to ask Google red herring prospectus of HCL Tech. You should read it. What I feel, what I do. I am a financially illiterate person, doesn't matter. But what I do, I am telling you. And another thing is the annual report. Annual report is like a Bible, I will tell you. Annual report, you have to read between the lines, what the company management and what. There is a part in the annual report called as company management and analysis.
Management discussion and analysis.
Company management analysis. And you have to read that part very well. You will feel it, that something is clear. You'll feel it. And quarterly reports for those who don't know, each company after 3 months have to release
quarterly results.
That is called as quarterly results. So this quarterly result is also a very good tracking thing. So whether the promoters are walking the talk. Another is earning call. Now, what is earning call? After every quarter, the management, the promoters, and the investors like us, we all discuss about certain things. And you can ask directly to the promoters. Suppose Saregama is telling that they will be growing by 30%. They already told in the last con call, what is conference call, earning call, we call it. So we will definitely ask him next time if it fails 30% growth.
Correct.
That is very important. And above all, one thing is most important. Whatever I have told so far, that investment into a company is not like a
Picture.
still picture.
Correct.
It's like a movie. It's like a unfolding movie. It's like unfolding movie. Every time it's unfolding. You have to keep track on it. You have to keep track of management. You have to keep track of company. You have to keep track of balance sheet. You have to keep all these things. You have to read. If you want to be a long-term investor, then and after that you can decide whether to stay in the company. There is no such hard and fixed rule. You have to exit now. You have to enter now. What I feel for this long journey, what I have felt, I have discussed with you. Now, Joy, you can sum up.
Yeah. So summing up the whole point, first you should always check the management of each company. Like for example, Sir gave the example that if you want to do a management check, you can just search the company management companies.
Google it.
Yeah, and Google it, and with keywords such as fraud or any issues in the government, legal issues in the past, etc. Then Sir talked about the promoter holdings. You should always look at the promoter holdings of each company. For example, if a company promoter holds around 10% stake in the company, that isn't a pretty good sign, because if you believe that your company is doing well, then you should hold a significant stake in the company to prove that it is going to do well, right? And if you're not, then it shows sign that you don't have confidence over your own company. Right? And
there are exceptions, of course. There are exceptions like
HDFC,
IEX. All these are corporate companies.
Correct. And then new age IPOs are also another sign, because the startups that are coming as an IPO, they have raised a lot of rounds.
Amount of money.
Yeah, hence the promoter stake might be low, because they have raised these are unicorn companies. They have raised many rounds of investment, right? And then Sir talked about the pledging investment, the promoter pledging. Promoter pledging is basically the promoter is selling his stake or pledging his stake and getting loan against that particular stake. This is called pledging of the stake. That shouldn't also be more in the company. Another point that I can add is that you should search the company promoter name on the LinkedIn, and also check his LinkedIn profile. You can also see his past employment record, where he worked in the past, where he is working, what was his qualification, where did he do his graduation in, etc. are available on LinkedIn also. That is also another.
How many times he has gone to jail?
Correct. Great. That's all. That all sums to your discussion, sir.
Yes.
Great.
Anything you would like to add?
Yeah. No, many more questions I would like to ask you, sir. Another question that I would like to ask you, sir, is the Omicron variant. On how much deep impact would it have in the future? As you're a doctor yourself, you can answer that question rightly.
Should I talk about it? Because it is a very sensitive issue. Whatever. One thing in microbiology, we have read that if a disease has very high infectivity, its severity is not so much. Omicron is very highly infective. So it's not so dangerous, what I feel. Because the death rate till that is low, but hospitalization is the factor, because in any country, especially in third world countries like us, the hospitalization procedure is so difficult. Nowadays, we are treating the patients at home. That is a risk. But I don't feel it will have a long-term effect on the stock market.
Got it.
That's my personal view.
Got it.
Anything else?
Yeah. Another question is that, sir, how do you manage your doctor? Your doctor is a very involving job, because you have to be present at the patient every time. And how do you manage it with investing? Because
this is all passion.
Got it.
Nothing else. I am not in the investing to earn money. I love it simply.
Got it.
I love it simply. Nothing else.
Got it. That's all questions from my side, sir. Thank you for being on this podcast.
Thank you very much. Namaskar, everyone.